over, I got a 5x, and then I'm going to bring the 2 over. Can I factor that? No, and if I did it in the quadratic equation, I would get an imaginary number. Okay, so the answer here is empty set. Okay, it just, there's occasional ones that they just can't be done. Okay. All right, then we moved on to this weird section, which again, this involves your shortcut, and I can't have you unlearn your shortcut. So you had this section where it basically said, oh, you know that the log of base 9 of 7 is approximately 0.8856, and you know the log of base 9 of 4 is approximately 0.6309. They gave you that at the front end. And then they go, okay, find the log of base 9 of 49. Now the way that we did this before was we go, oh, well, that's the log base 9 of 7 squared. So I can bring the 2 to the front, and I can go 2 times the log of base 9 of 7. Well, the log of base 9 of 7 is that, so I have 2 times 0.8856, right? And I work it out. How else can I do this? What's the shortcut way to do it? Take your calculator, log of 49 divided by the log of 9. It's going to give you the same answer. So, you know, we learned how to do it the long way. And basically, on this long way, we didn't even do it this way yet. What we did was we said 49 is the same as 7 times 7. So we would say, you know what that equals? The log of base 9 of 7 plus the log of base 9 of 7. And I would add that together twice, okay? Because remember, when things are multiplied with logarithms, it's the same as addition. When things are divided with logarithms, it's the same as subtraction. Okay, just remember on your study guide, there's a whole section on that on the top of page 3 on your study guide. Okay, and of course the power is brought to the front. But now you've used that. So now it's more comfortable. These things right here that you had to do when you were doing your section, you had to do them because you didn't know the shortcut yet. I don't know that I would go to the effort of doing them the long way when you can just plug it in your calculator and have your calculator not make a mistake. Okay? You with me on that? All right. So we're not going to spend a lot of time right there.
Can we do one more shortcut one?
Sure.
Because for some reason, I'm like remembering the long way really well. But
well, you can always do it the long way, but the shortcut way, it's all based on, and you can either do common logs or you can do natural logs, as long as you're consistent with it. You're going to take the log of this number divided by the log of the base. That's all it is every time. Okay, just remember your base, when you think of base, you think of bottom, right? So it's the log of the base that's on the bottom versus the log of the other numbers on the top. So if I said the log of base 3 of, I don't know, 27, that would be the same thing as the log of 27 divided by the log of 3. See, what you see here is this is a base of 3. I can convert it to a base of 10, which is what I'm doing when I don't write a base in. Okay? Okay. That's all there is to it. Sometimes the easiest stuff is actually the hardest to get. All right. Then you had a few that you had to solve. Now, some of these were understanding that addition is the same as multiplication, division and subtraction are tied together. So I'm going to put a couple up here and see if you can actually solve them for me. All right, I want you to solve for the y. And I'm going to put that one up there, and then I'll put another one down here. two. That's it, you know, everybody always says that, but it's actually when you eat that your stomach growls because it's that acid trying to digest all that. Did y'all get them? Okay, so no problems on those. Okay, then we moved on to the sections. So that was section 10.3. Section 10.4 was when we started to learn about common logs. Common logs are just logarithms with a base of 10. And you'll see on your study guide, not that you have to know this, but basically your decimal part of your log is going to be what's called the mantissa, and your whole number or your integer part is your characteristic. So that's on your study guide, but you don't really need to know that. The only thing that you've got to do with natural logs is be able to use your calculator to find the natural log of it and the anti-log of it. So you should be able to, anything I give you, take your calculator and know what to do. So like if I told you, find the logarithm of 46.56 rounded to 4 decimals. So go ahead and pick up your calculator and give me a value for that. The only difficult thing here is rounding. And if you know how to set your calculator, the calculator will round it for you. But I'm not going to tell you how, because then I'm afraid you'd forget to put it back. You got it? Should be 1.6680. Okay? Now, the other thing it might do is it might tell you to get the anti-log of something. So the anti-log to 4 places after of 2.75. Should be 562 decimal 3413. Gosh, Vivian, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then, and that was section 10.4, and what it did, it began to show you some like word problems that you might use that in. I don't have any word problems on the test. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay, which I might should have given you a couple, but understand that's the whole purpose in learning this. Depending on who teaches you science, you may or may not ever see a word problem on this. The next section was section 10.5. And it's very similar to common logs, but it's called natural logs. And what's the base of a natural log? E. Do you remember the value for E?
2 point something.
It's 2.178. Now that's rounded, obviously, like pi is 3.14, but 2.178 is your, you know, the natural log, and it's basically ln. Now in the book, it looks like IN, but understand that you can have the natural log of something. You just pick up your calculator, you do natural log ln of that number. Same thing, you can do the anti-natural log, okay, just like the common log. The base is different. Then they had you do a whole section on just shortcuts, which we've worked on the shortcut all the way through. So in other words, you need to be able to go, oh, the log of base 4 of 100. How do I do that problem, Vivian? Shortcut.
Wait. You were going, you should calculate.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Hold on.
Round to 3 decimal places. Got it? Okay, what is it?
I originally typed it wrong. Oh, is it 3.32? Okay. Yeah.
3.322. You just go the log of 100 divided by the log of 4. All right. Then that brings us to what you had for homework. Now I'm going to give you a couple of those just to make sure that now that we put all that other stuff in there, we still are on the right sheet of music there. And that's the whole chapter. So what started out as like a difficult chapter, when you put it all together, is relatively easy. Okay, so let me give you a couple of these to do. These are the whole purpose behind logarithms. These are the ones that you can't make the base the same. So let me give you a couple here, and you work on doing these. I might not have allowed enough space for me to do them up here, but
Round to 4 decimal places?
no, just round to 3. No, whatever. I don't, either 3 or 4. If it doesn't say, you choose. got both up here, rounded to 4 and rounded to 3.
Log 6 divided by, like, okay. Yeah, log 6 divided by 6. And we'll put the log